Hello everyone. So in the part 1 we have seen all of the moments in which women have taken parts, the different committees which were being built for the welfare of women. Now we will see what is laws for women on page number 33. The law enacted in 1952 recognizes women's right to alimony and their share in the father's property. Her right to Sridhan was recognized. Polygamy was made illegal and women, just like man, got the right to sue for divorce. It was a law that took one step forward concerning women's issue over the following decade. Okay, so now women had a right for alimony. Like if agar koi divorce ho gaya hai in a couple, then the woman had a right to ask for alimony so that she can ask for money and then spend her life and the children's life. Polygamy was made illegal. Okay, so what do you mean by polygamy? Polygamy is when one man marries like एक woman से ज़्यादा जब वो किसी से शादी करते हैं तो that is called as polygamy. Okay, so if like a particular man is marrying more than one woman, then that is called as polygamy. So it was completely banned. Okay, it was made illegal and women just like man got the right to sue for divorce, that even women can ask for divorce. It was a law that took one step forward. कि law तो वही था, खाली one step forward हुआ है वैसा. The Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961 made both giving and taking of dowry a cognizable criminal offence. This dismantled the dowry tradition by its roots and further encouraged the social movement. The dowry system was also completely banned, and it was not allowed from both the sides. Okay. The law alleviated the distress to women caused by the undesirable tradition of dowry. The Maternity Beneficial Act, which gave women the right to get leave from work at the time of childbirth, also came into force in 1961. So what usually happens is they ask from a female family, right, कि उनके पास से dowry लेते तो even woman has to go through a lot of trauma, like कि उतना पैसा कहाँ से लाएंगे, कैसे करेंगे, कैसे होगा, नहीं होगा. So even that was completely banned, कि वो भी ban कर दिया था. The dowry system, even that was completely stopped. And also Maternity Beneficial Act, that if a woman is pregnant then she can ask for a leave. So even this right was given to women in 1961, but it was forced because for asking for the rights they had to force for this law. Now awareness against the dowry tradition. Now there was awareness कि क्या क्या awareness लाया था for this dowry system. Let us see. Even after the enactment of anti-dowry law, incidents like women burned to death as sari pallu catches fire while cooking and woman slips into well while washing clothes, drowns and dies continue to be reported. Investigations still reveal dowry to be the most frequent causes of such deaths. Now we have seen that dowry system was completely banned, but still कैसे कैसे cases आ रहे थे that a woman is dying because of the pallu got burnt into the gas or the woman fall into well. Now all of these cases we know that these are not true. Woman is very capable enough कि वो क्या well में कूदेगी नहीं या उसका पल्लू जलेगा नहीं. So for that purpose also, if there they had a research on that particular topics or particular cases and they got to know that again a dowry was a system कि अगर dowry नहीं पे किया रहेगा इसके लिए उसको problems हो रहे थे. The role of police, the administration, and judiciary were highlighted. This created greater awareness that now people got to know that even the dowry was the only system because of which all of these cases were taking place. As a result, the Dowry Prohibition and Amendment Act came into force in 1984. In 1988, 2,209 women died victim to the dowry tradition. In 1990, the number of dowry deaths was 4835 and in 1993 it was 5377. So if you see this flow, you will see that after the increase of like almost 2 years the numbers of death are increasing. And what is the cause behind this? The only cause is the dowry system. Though it was banned, these were the numbers of cases. These numbers were impressed upon your seriousness of the issues, and this now led to the seriousness of issues. The women understood that because of this dowry system, other women are getting punished. So even they got to know, and that is how awareness against the dowry system was being created. Family courts, which is 1984. Family courts were established to resolve conflicts arising out of differences within marriage and domestic problems, as well as issues such as alimony, single parenthood, separation, care of children, and ownership were all related to family situation. These family courts give priority to mutual understanding over witness and evidence and to counselor over lawyers. Emphasis is on resolving issue quickly but justly. Now अभी हम लोग ने देखा कि लॉज वर बीन एस्टैब्लिश, एलिमनी दे सकते थे, डिवोर्स दे सकते थे, ये सारा चीज़ें तो हम लोग ने देखा. बट आफ्टर दैट व्हाट हैपन्स इज देयर वर प्रॉब्लम्स, राइट. देयर वर प्रॉब्लम्स रिलेटेड टू एलिमनी. इफ़ देयर इज़ अ सिंगल पेरेंटहुड तो उसका प्रॉब्लम होता था. देन देयर आर सेपरेशन ऑफ पेरेंट्स, सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर वर प्रॉब्लम्स. केयर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, दैट हु विल टेक केयर, हु वुड own that property. So all of these problems which were related to family, so for that particular case family courts were being established, so they look after all of these issues which were related to family. These family courts give priority to mutual understanding ओवर विटनेस. के विटनेस जो हम लोग ने जो देखा उसको प्रायोरिटी नहीं देते थे. किसको प्रायोरिटी देते थे? म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग को. दैट इफ़ दे आर म्यूचुअली अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट ओके यू टेक द प्रॉपर्टी और यू टेक, लाइक इफ़ दे आर हैंडलिंग इट म्यूचुअली, दैट वॉज गिवन अ प्रायोरिटी. एंड एविडेंस एंड टू काउंसलर्स ओवर लॉयर्स, दैट इफ दे हैड एविडेंस then that was given priority and not the lawyers. Emphasis is on resolving issues quickly but justifiably. Okay, सच्चे वे में होना चाहिए and quickly होना चाहिए. That was the priority. Next one, trial involving alimony. Now there were trial which was involved alimony. Let us see, you'll understand. A fixed amount paid to a married woman for her upkeep by the husband who has divorced her is called alimony. Okay, so what do you mean by alimony? Like if they're taking divorce, so a woman is given a particular amount of money so that she can take care of herself and of children, so that particular case also. So that particular amount which is given to women is called as alimony. In the case of Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shah Banu Begum, the Supreme Court gave the verdict that Shah Banu Begum had the right to alimony. So these were the cases, Muhammad Ahmad Khan and Shah Banu Begum. So Shah Banu Begum got the right for alimony. However, religious organization protested vociferously against the verdict. As a result, the Muslim Women's Act on प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ राइट्स ऑन डिवोर्स वॉज पास्ड बाय पार्लियामेंट. अभी यहाँ पे क्या हो गया था? सी, मोहम्मद अहमद खान बिलोंग्स टू मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी एंड शाह बानो बेगम, तो वैसे ये जो केस हो गया था. सो दैट इन दैट केस वी हैव सीन दैट alimony was given to Shah Banu Begum. So again people thought, like again it was a religious topic ke, there are differences in our field, that Muslim thoughts ke okay differences ho rahe hai. So again there was Women Act, okay, women's Muslim Women Act which was being created. Why? For the protection of rights on divorce, okay, which was passed by parliament, and then this law was made, this community was made. The Commission of Sati Prevention Act. Now what was done for the prevention of sati? Let us see. On 4th September 1987, Roop Kanwar, a married woman, committed sati. She did not do this for her own free will. She was coerced into doing so. Okay, so jo Roop Kanwar karke, there was a woman, on 4th September she had to do this sati process. Why? She didn't wanted to do, but since they say they have to do it, she has to do it. Committing sati, glorifying the practice of sati, were all illegal acts. The women activist and journalist Meena Menon, Geeta Seshu, Sujata Anandan, Anu Joseph and Kalpana Sharma investigated the case. In 1998, the government passed the Sati Prevention Act with very stringent provisions, okay, but since she didn't wanted to commit this Sati process, but she was forced to, so all of the women empowerment, jo sare women leaders thi, they came into her support. They researched on that particular topic, and then a law was passed which says that there should be prevention of this act, कि अभी there should be no sati process going on. Next one, Protection of Human Right Acts. In 1993, this law was enacted to prevent injustice to men and women. Okay, कि अभी women's का हो गया, हम लोग ने देखा, there were laws for women's safety, then there was trial for alimony, then sati का देखा. Now everything was now for human rights, which include both men and women. So a law was enacted in 1993 which said that injustice, जो भी injustice हो रहा है on men and women, that would be enacted by this particular law. The National Human Rights Commission was also formed for this purpose. In some states, the State Human Rights Commission was also formed on the same line. This law, which deals with collective oppression, the social conditions of divorced women in secure workplaces, played an effective role in mitigating injustice to women. Okay, so all of these laws were made, like human rights commission, which worked after women who was being divorced. कि अगर कोई divorced woman है तो उनके लिए फिर उनका, if she is working, so is she secured at that workplace. So all of these laws or all of these committees looked after women in such situations. Reservation for women. The 73rd and 74th Amendments to the Constitution provide for reservation of 1/3 of seats for women in Gram Panchayat and Panchayat Samitis, Zilla Parishad, municipalities and municipal corporation, as well as for the post of Sarpanch, chairman and mayor. Okay, that according to the law of 73rd and 74th Amendment, women have 1/3 seats in all of these places. It can be Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samitis, or for the post of mayor or chairman. Maharashtra and 15 other states have reserved 50% seats for women. This provision provides women the opportunity to participate in the business of community. That even women have right to take part in all of the things which are related to government issues, and then they can take part in all of these seats equally in support of men. In the post-independence period, the Constitution of India accepted the principle of equality of men and women. Hence, women got the important political right to vote. Okay, so during the post-independence period, there was this law which was enacted which says that men and women should be equal. Okay, पहले क्या होता था, women were not given that much of priority, but after this law, both of them were given equal opportunity, and that is when women got the right to vote. Women got equal rights to education and work on par with men. Okay, so vote का मिला, उसके बाद साथ ही साथ they got right to educate and work as well. Inhuman practices like sati, dowry and polygamy were banned by law. Polygamy हम लोग ने देखा, like a single male person, if is getting married to more than one woman, then that is called as polygamy. So all of these laws which were injustice, which were not inhuman, were banned by the government. They got a lawful share in the property. In local self-government bodies, seats were reserved for women so that they would have their share of political power. As we saw earlier, that even in government, seats were reserved for women. We see today that due to these provisions, women have begun to get education and to earn. Also, due to the ideas of women liberation, women are developing a sense of self. They have begun to participate enthusiastically and with determination in all fields of education, earning money, administration, politics, etc. Okay, so now they got to know that they have importance of their own selves. They were given job opportunities, they were given government seats, and at that particular time women realized the importance of her own self. So now women got to know that they have right in all of these fields, right, in education and administration and politics, and that is how they started taking part in all of these sessions. Scheduled caste. In the post-independence period, our constitution adopted the values of freedom, equality, fraternity and social justice. In accordance with his the practice of untouchability was banned by law. Okay, so post independence period के बाद बहुत कुछ हुआ था. Like there were values like freedom, equality, fraternity, social justice. All of these factors were taken into consideration. Okay, and also untouchability वाला जो thinking था लोगों का, जो अछूत अछूत बोलते हैं, even that was being banned by the law. Untouchability was removed by the 17th para of constitution and this class was included in the scheduled caste. Okay, तो वो निकाल दिया था and उनको scheduled caste में categorize कर दिया था. In view of educational and social backwardness of these castes, they were given reservations in education as well as jobs to facilitate their development. Okay, तो उनको पहले इतनी education opportunities and all of this were not given, so even they were given jobs like reservations for jobs as well as for education purpose. So उनके लिए they have reserved seats. Like if you go in colleges, you know, for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, they have specific numbers of seats reserved. Scheduled tribes, another caste. Just like the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribes or Adivasis who lived in remote part of the countries also faced several difficulties. As they lived far away from the progress made in modern times, they are economically and socially backward. Okay, so this is the reason, because they live far away places. Like it is believed that they are very much less into economical and social developments, and that is why they have given some priorities. Even though their conditions have seen some improvement in recent times, they do not have any means of livelihood other than agriculture and forest produce. Modern farming implements have not yet reached them. Okay, के अभी तक भी उनके तक फार्मिंग इम्प्लीमेंट्स या जो मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजीज़ है वो पहुंची नहीं थी उस टाइम पे. नाउ तो एवरीवन इज़ लाइक अ प्रॉपर, ठीक है, सबको जमता है, बट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम इट वाजंट दैट. ओके, दे वर नॉट प्रोवाइडेड विद बेसिक एम्यूनिटीज़, मतलब वो नहीं मिलता था उनको, सिंस दे वर फार अवे फ्रॉम द नॉर्मल वर्ल्ड. मतलब फार अवे मतलब दे लिव्ड फार अवे फ्रॉम द प्रोग्रेस विच वॉज मेड इन द नॉर्मल वर्ल्ड. दे आर malnourished. Besides this, their fields are on hillsides and they are even not fertile. तो वैसे भी नहीं, अगर fertile होता तो they could, वहाँ पे वो लोग बना सकते थे खाना and they could have crops, but even that was not possible. They are malnourished due to insufficient and poor quality of diet. Adivasis in remote area find it difficult to get medical attention in time. For all these reasons, there is a need to give special protection to Adivasis. In the Indian Constitution, Adivasis has been enumerated as scheduled tribes. They are getting given representation in law boards, education, government service, etc. Okay, so they were further categorized into scheduled tribes, and इसके लिए education से related या government service से related जो सारे laws है उनमें उनको equal treatment दिया जाता है. Nomadic and denotified tribes. Castes and tribes that moved from place to place for a livelihood are included under nomadic tribes. Okay, कि जो अपना livelihood, अपना जीवन निकालने के लिए they keep on moving from one place to another, उनको हम nomadic tribes के अंदर include करते हैं. They live by rearing animals and engaging in some other occupations. The British had declared some of them as criminal tribes. In the law of 1871, to curb crimes, some of the main groups were mentioned as criminal tribes and their occupation and movements were banned. Okay, so some Britishers ने क्या किया था, आधे लोगों को इसमें से criminal tribes ऐसे करके mention कर दिया था. So to their occupation and monuments, so their occupation and movements were banned. They thought that since they used to do क्या ऊपर हम लोग ने देखा ना, rearing of animals, so they thought they could kill certain animals, and that is why their movements and they were being banned. This unjust law was repealed in the post independence period. तो ये पहले के टाइम था, ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के पहले ऐसा सब लॉ था, बट आफ्टर पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस all of these were cancelled and been changed, and the curbs on these tribes were lifted. They were included under denotified tribes. Special efforts are made by the government for the purpose of their social and economic development. These tribes have been given representation in and educational institution and the government sectors. Okay, so post independence के बाद things changed. They were given special position in social and economic development. उनका social and economic development हो इसके लिए they were special treatment given to them. Educational institutions या government sectors से जो सारी facilities उनको दी जा सकती है, all of these were being provided to them. Minorities. In any society, a group of people of a particular religion, language, or race who are few in numbers are termed as minority. के जो कम numbers में होते हैं उनको they term it as minority. As there are various religion, sects and language in our country, we see great cultural diversity. There is a variation in cultural traditions too, right? जितना हमारे इंडियन में हमारे cultures है, traditions है, उतना hardly कोई other countries में रहेगा. We have like each and every different cultures and types. We are Punjabis, Gujaratis, Marwadis, South Indians, and all of these categories. सबके अलग अलग forms, सबका अलग अलग traditions. Such is a beauty of our country. In order to preserve their cultural traditions and to develop their own language, the Constitution gives the citizens certain educational and cultural rights. Minorities have the right to protect and conserve their language, cultural and traditions. So even minorities have right कि वो अपना खुद का जो culture है, traditions है, उनको वो protect कर सके. For this purpose, they have right to set up the separate educational institution. The government implements various schemes for their progress. के minority seats होते हैं, अगर आप college में जाते हो so the government are they are helping them. They are helping minorities in education field, in sector field, in job field, etc. In the next chapter, we shall learn about the progress that India has made in the field of science and technology in the post-independence period. तो ये तो हम लोग ने देखा कि post-independence period में women's ने कौन से events में part लिया, which all movements they took place, what all the laws which were enacted on them. But later on, we will see that after post-independence, what was the improvement in the field of science and technology, that what all inventions were done and all of these things. Okay, so as usual, while talking about exercise, I believe that if the chapter is easily understood to you, the exercise part is something which you can do it by yourself. Okay, so as usual, the homework part would be your exercise questions. You have to do it in the homework. And yeah, guys, that was it for today's session. We'll see you all in the next one. Till then, bye bye and take care. Bye.